Okay, hello. Today, wait, I'll show you how these um, planetary winds, okay, planetary winds originate and how these pressure belts play a major role in shaping these wind patterns. Okay, so again, redo. Sorry, select, delete. Let me delete everything first, and we'll start from the beginning. Okay, so consider this as Earth, okay, and this is the Sun, which is of course not so big, and sorry, so this is the Sun, which is big, but again it is too far. So let's take it small, okay, and evidently we know that the sun rays are very much straight onto the equatorial region, and they fall inclined on the polar regions, right? So what we're going to do is we take equator somewhere here, which is 0 degree, and we take this region where there is intense heating of air from the direct sun rays, okay, and we name this region as doldrums or equatorial low pressure belt. As there is intense heating, air rises upward, okay, air rises upward, right? So there is low pressure belt. Now as this air moves further and it goes towards the pole, the original intention is to bring these winds to the poles, these as well, the poles. But in the meantime, when they reach somewhere around here, that is about 30 to 35 degree south, and here as well 30 to 35 degree north, what we see is that these winds, they gradually cool down and they fall upon the surface of the earth, okay. The original intention was to go right from here to here, right? But as they raise upwards, as they move towards the pole, the air cools down and it gradually descends over these regions, the subtropical regions, okay, the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn region, and we call these regions as subtropical high pressure belt. Subtropical high pressure belt, because air descends over these regions, okay. And as air descends, there is no movement of air, just that suppose this is the surface and the air descends, there is no vertical movement of air. So we say that these regions are also called horse latitudes, okay, HORS, horse latitude, same as here, horse latitude, okay. Now we also know that wait a minute, yeah, we also know that in the polar regions, okay, this and this 90 degrees south and 90 degree north, from the polar regions, as the air is very much cold, okay, so there is permanent low high pressure in this region, high pressure because air is cold, okay, high pressure in the region, high pressure. So what happens is, as here it is high pressure, here as well it is high pressure, therefore these air tends to settle in this region, and there is the formation of another low pressure belt in this region, okay. Air from this pressure belt they ascend and then they go and descend from the poles and partly to the Earth's latitudes. Similarly, air descends, they go and air ascends, they go and descend over the pole and partly over the Earth's latitude. And this region is known as subpolar low pressure belt. Okay, subpolar low pressure belt. Okay, so that's all. I think yes, that's all. Now let's talk about winds. Okay, for that I have to erase this. I have to erase this, and I will draw a more cleaner diagram. Yeah. Okay, so what we have seen is air ascends, right, and then it descends. Okay, similarly, air ascends and then it descends. All good. From here as well, air ascends and then it descends. Air ascends and then it descends. Similarly, air ascends, descends, ascends, descends. Okay, so you can see that there are these similar kind of cells, okay, which are just kind of reciprocal to each other, where these are the same, these are the same, and these two are the same, right? See, they are just mirror reflection of each other. Okay, so we can say these cells are named as Hadley cell. Hadley cell, LEY, Hadley cell. These are Ferrel cells. Ferrel, named after the physicist Ferrel, who of course has discovered the Ferrel's law. And these are the polar cells, POLAR, polar cells. Okay, now we are halfway done. Now we have to see, or we have to predict the direction of winds. Okay, so here's the catch. If these are high pressure regions and if these are low pressure regions, it is evident that winds will blow from high pressure to low pressure. Okay, now sorry, yeah, so here is a complete circle. Air ascends, sorry, yeah, air ascends, right, it ascends, it goes and it descends, and then it flows at surface winds. These are surface winds by the name of easterlies, RLIES. Okay, I'll repeat. Air ascends, it goes and it descends, and it forms a high pressure region. Okay, and from that high pressure region, air flows towards the low pressure region from where air had originally ascended, and the wind flows as easterlies, okay, or tropical easterlies. Okay, here I'll try to make one more thing. Air ascends, okay, it descends, and then it flows at surface winds. Okay, the same thing here. Air ascends, it descends, and then flows as surface winds. Similarly, it ascends, it descends. Again, here is high pressure, here is low pressure, so it flows as surface winds. Again, tropical easterlies. Okay. Oh, sorry. I think the direction is guided by Ferrel's law, or Coriolis effect also we can say, which is to the right in the northern hemisphere and to the left in the southern hemisphere. So it is in this direction, okay, in the southern hemisphere. Similarly, it is in this direction in the northern hemisphere. Okay, now again, air ascends, it descends, and then it flows as surface winds. I again made a mistake. Again, the direction is this. Okay, similarly, air ascends, it descends, and then it flows as surface winds. Okay, think about this. Air comes upward as upper air circulation goes down, and then goes again towards the original point as surface winds. Okay, yeah, so these are called westerlies. Okay, these are called westerlies. Why westerlies? Because northwest, east, south, look, they are coming from western direction. Okay, why these are called easterlies? Because look, they are coming from eastern direction. Winds are named after the direction from which they originate. Okay, not to the direction towards which they go, but usually winds are named after the direction from which they originate. So there is easterlies, there are westerlies. Again, for example, land bridge. Land bridge, you know about land bridge. If this is a piece of land and if this is water, if winds flow from lands towards the sea, it is called land breeze. Okay, which happens during the day, which happens during the night. Sorry, during the night. Yes. Okay. Similarly, as winds blow from sea towards the land, they are called sea breeze. Right. Sea towards the land, they are called sea breeze. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. A land breeze is during the day, right, or night. Oh, land breeze is during the night, and sea breeze is during the day. Sea breeze is during the day. Yeah. So, anyways, winds are named after the direction from which they originate. Okay. So similarly, upwards, they descend over towards the pole, and they flow towards the low pressure belt. As again, these are called polar easterlies. Okay. Similarly, polar easterlies. Yeah. Okay, so that's all. We have Hadley cell, we have Ferrel cell, and then we have polar cells. Okay. So these are the distribution of pressure belts, and out of them, tropical high pressure belt, which is this one, polar low pressure belts plus polar low pressure belt. Yeah, these are thermally induced. Thermally induced meaning that they owe the reason for their origin to temperature. Okay, towards the effect of sun. The other four, that is the other two duplicates, that is two subpolar low pressure belt plus two subtropical high pressure belt. These are dynamically induced. As they owe their origin to the movement of air. Okay, air moves and they descend, hence they are formed. Not that they are an outcome of uneven heating of the land surface. Okay, these three, okay, 1 plus 3, they are a direct consequence of thermal action of sun, and they in turn create these four. Okay, so they are dynamically induced. Yeah, so that's all you can see here. Yeah, so yeah, that's all. We have made 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So there are 7 pressure belts on the earth, and out of them 3 are thermally induced and 4 are dynamically induced, and then they give rise to planetary winds. Okay, polar easterlies, westerlies, tropical easterlies. Yeah. Thank you.